congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry to miss you last night.
Oh, I bet you guys had a blast. I was following everybody on Instagram. It looked amazing.
So much fun. It was so like our voices are out because of it.
Yeah.
We would have it no other way.
Thank you for being awake. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. It was tough.
Yeah. Well, congrats also on top 5 for every single leg, except I guess Vietnam is the only one.
Yeah, Vietnam. That was a tough day, but other than that, really happy to be up there. I think top 3 other than Vietnam for everything.
Oh, dang. Okay, yeah, 5 first places, including the big one that counts. Let's talk about this final leg. We see you struggle at the glass. It seems very detailed, specific, and then Joel and Garrett leave. What is that stress like at that point?
Man, I mean, that was the first time probably in the race where we really, I mean, of course, like no one would get eliminated in the last leg, but it felt like we were going to get eliminated, right? Like it was the first time that we were 30, 35, 40, 45 minutes behind the team that we needed to beat. So it was feeling pretty scary there for a little bit, but we just kept amping each other up. We'd be like, this is the one. This is the one.
We'd be disappointed and be like, dang, we might get third, but we were like, next one's it. Next one's it. We got to keep going. So kept our heads held high.
Yes. Okay. Then we moved to grunge. And I gotta say, watching this, just pick it up over and over. Oh, what is this like?
That was man, I knew it was coming, right? Like I remember how many times I picked that up, convinced there was nothing in there. And they love to play that ding 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 ding. So I was expecting to get that littered. And we tried to really see if other teams could influence us on where it might be, or inspire us to check new places, but it ended up actually just helping them get ahead even more. So
yeah, looks like it helped them look for power chords.
Yeah.
I will say this is probably like one of our worst legs that we had. So like we always talk about it. The fact that we were able to pull it off, there are way more worlds where we lost than where we won. So we're happy to be in one of them.
Yeah, I feel like we by no means were the underdogs going into this, but this leg we were the underdogs for the vast majority of it. And it's not a comfy place to be when you're racing. Yeah.
So when you're at the grab, the trapeze, did you guys have to wait for Joel and Garrett to finish, or did that just time out that they finished and you went right up?
Yeah, it timed out pretty perfectly. As soon as we got there, I mean, we were kind of hoping that they wouldn't finish, right? Like we'd like to see them, but they give us a little debrief about how to do it beforehand, which we sped through pretty quickly, but they kind of taught us how to do the trapeze thing. And while the woman was teaching us what we needed to do, we heard Joel and Garrett celebrate in the background about them finishing the challenge. So as soon as they finished, we were able to start our challenge, which was kind of nice because then we knew, okay, they are as far as it takes us to finish this challenge away from us. Like the longer we take on this challenge, the more it takes up.
So is it one of those challenges where had they not gotten it, you would have then gotten a chance and they go back in line?
I guess we'll never know. I assume it's that. I assume we would have just kind of gone in the queue, but we did get that number, and the number might have been for just like instructors. But yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, I think that's how they usually do it. Usually, I'm sure it'd be just like we hop in the back of the line and then they go, and then we just
right. Yeah, for a second I was worried. I was like, "Oh, do they just have to wait for?"
Yeah, that's a great question. That's an A+ question for sure.
We don't need to know because it's gonna work out. All right, we head off to this memory challenge. We hear, John's going to take the lead here. You have the amazing memory. What then got your rhythm? Because obviously, Greg, you're going to be a part of this.
It was definitely a team effort, and we had good familiarity with the whole menu of roadblocks and detours because we were taking notes. And it's just step one of being a good racer is making sure you got that notebook. And we went through it a few times before this leg in anticipation. And we both expected for that to be wrong on the first try. And we're delighted when it was a check. Because how many times did we have that guy going, no, or the dragon will never fly? We were just expecting to get one of those.
What did you think about Joel and Garrett, though? So you can kind of see them, right? So where's your headspace with them?
Yeah, because when we pulled up to the challenge, we just saw a wall of kayaks on Joel and Garrett's side. So we were just thinking, like, okay, they're going to be done any second here, right? Like any check that they get is going to be the check that they finish. But every time we heard them say check, and then the judge would come up and they would check, and we heard no, it would just give us more fuel. You know, it'd be like, okay, they got it wrong again. Like add to the fire, add to the fire, and it just kind of kept getting, more and more amped as they kind of kept got it wrong.
But they're absolute rock stars, and like just seeing their progression over the season, it was just like it's so fun to be around them and Rob and Corey. Just like I feel like we're biased, but genuinely the best final three that you could ask for.
Yeah.
Truly, really a great final three. Okay, give me running to the mat. It seemed like you were worried about another car. Talk to me about this.
I'm telling you, we parked in, and it was stressful because we didn't know exactly where to go. But once we found it, we saw a car parked the exact same model, exact same color as us, and we all have the same car. So we figured, oh man, Joel and Garrett, they must have not even had to ask for directions and maybe just like got here on their own. So I was convinced turning that corner we were second for like 5 seconds, was convinced. But once you see everyone like cheering as hard as they did, that's the moment hey, I think we're in first.
Yes, and then you're on the mat. How does it feel to get it officially?
Yeah, it actually feels unreal. And that, a lot of people say unreal, but it actually felt like a dream, like it felt like one of those dreams where you're gonna pinch yourself and you're gonna wake up. Just especially with all the cheering and it's different in person too, because when you watch on the show, they got the they got all the music in the back and all the cool camera shots, but just like being there in the actual moment it's completely different.
Yeah,
than
the
what you see.
acapella clapping. And I have a memory of just being there, having Gregory to my left, Phil to my right, Phil telling me that I won. And now I have this additional memory of like the perspective of seeing me come up and having that. But I want to make sure
Yeah.
that the one I hold close is me on the mat from that
Yeah.
perspective of first finding out and keeping that as like the primary.
Yeah, amazing. So exciting. It was so fun to watch you all season. Congrats again. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It was
Thank
so
you for
fun
having
listening
us.
to you all season. I'm looking forward to listening to the next one.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. And hopefully you'll come on and we'll talk some more.
Yeah,
love that.
anytime.